Okay, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to our webinar on SmartAfriHub, a revolutionary platform created by the collaborative efforts of European and African scientists and technicians, powered by Hub for Everybody's Advanced Technology. I am Markéta Kolárová from Plan for All, and I will be your host for today's event. As you may already know, SmartAfriHub facilitates seamless collaboration and sharing of geographical datasets, including professional measurements, research outcomes, student papers, and educational materials. Today, we will explore the latest version, SmartAfriHub 3.0, showcasing its e-learning integration and unique features. Our main speaker, František Zadražil, will later today demonstrate that this platform isn't just a tool, it's a dynamic social space where users collaborate across diverse backgrounds. Our agenda for today covers SmartAfriHub's core features, efficient spatial data management techniques, hands-on QGIS client and Wagtail CMS demonstrations, and insights into our e-learning capabilities. We are thrilled to welcome here professionals, researchers, students, and anyone interested in spatial data management, GIS technologies, and collaborative platforms. Thank you for being here. Please note that any questions you may have will be addressed after the presentation during our dedicated discussion session. And now let's hear from Dr. Karel Charva, followed by František Zadražil, who will provide deeper insights into SmartAfriHub and its transformative potential.
Hello, good afternoon. Welcome everybody for our webinar. I will be very short because I think that the most interesting presentation will be done by Franta. But at the beginning, I would like to mention something from the history of SmartAfriHub, because this is not something really new. It is something what was developed for more years in a close collaboration with number of African friends. I saw that today minimally Akan is presented from the people who contribute a lot to this development, and I will tell you a little from the history. In some way, we can say that first things was done on Nairobi Inspire Hackathon. This was before COVID last from Inspire Hackathon, which we organize really in situ. We met in Nairobi, and we work on in this time the first version. Unfortunately, later came COVID, and we continue working virtually, but it was also some advantage for the people from Africa, because it was much more easy without traveling to cooperate on this hackathon. And Kampala hackathon was initially planned to be in situ, but it was already virtually. And then we done other progress. We continue on Open Spring Inspire Hackathon 21, when other parts were developed and were discussed how it could be used. There were AgriHub Inspire Hackathon 22, where was special focus on building a map-based social space for Africa. And now we are introducing the version 3. During the Prague Hackathon, our collaborative work with African friends was many times awarded by jury as one from the most interesting application. And I think that now I will give floor to Franta, and I will ask him to start explain what is SmartAfriHub and how it could be used in different content.
Okay, thank you, Karel. Hello to everyone. My name is František Zadražil, and I'm representing the Plan for All Association and the Last Project company here. First of all, I would like to thank you for giving me the chance to present our work here. Some of you might have already seen some presentations of the platform I'm about to show you, but today I would like to go a bit deeper and show you how it really works in a live demonstration. And I would also like to include a new module for e-learning, as Karel mentioned. And I also hope that there will be some discussion afterwards where I could get some ideas or opinions from your side, because for us, any feedback is valuable to make the solution better and to fit it to your needs. But let me start in a more general way about geodata. Because if you are working with geodata within some organization or in the context of some project, maybe it's still very common to share the data by just packing it and sending it to your colleagues or share a drive, and that often leads to many local copies of the data that are not synchronized anyhow, and there is very quickly a lot of different versions of the data. It also supposes that the other people have some knowledge to be able to display your data or use them or work with the data. So if you really want to effectively present your data, you should first publish those in the form of map services. And those services can then be displayed in any GIS software, like QGIS, ArcGIS, etc. But map service is still not really comfy for most people, for most users. To make them understand your data, you probably want to show them show the data with some context and maybe in an interactive map application, so others can fiddle around with the data and investigate the data on their own. We as an organization, we are working on a lot of research or commercial projects, and those projects or in the context of those projects, we have produced many geographical datasets over the time. So we ourselves really needed some way to quickly and easily share the data and results of the projects with either our colleagues or partners in the projects. So we have come up with a solution for this task. Over the years, we have been developing tools that would help us to publish our data, to place them together with another data in some application and present those as a complement of other information. So we have finally gathered the know-how and existing solitaire tools, and we have started to forge a complex, powerful data management workflow, which I have to say that is solely based on open source products and products that we have been either developing completely on our own or where we are at least contributing on the development. So the platform covers the tasks that I described on the previous slide, and the platform provides the tools for those tasks. And the platform is called Hub for Everybody. You can see on this schema all the basic features of the platform. So there is, of course, content management system. There is spatial data management, metadata catalog, mobile client, desktop client, web client, of course, and e-learning module as the latest edition. Before showing you how it works in the real, I want to shortly describe the data workflow, so you can better understand probably what tools are available there and what are those tools for. Well, the workflow starts with your data, of course. Those data can be in common formats like SRE shapefiles, GeoJSONs, KMLs. It can be raster files, raster images, or raster time series, or it can even be PostGIS database tables. So let's imagine that you are a researcher who needs to publish the outcomes of your research, or you are a student who needs to publish the results of your student's work, or you are a local government administrative who is producing some data that are needed for decision making, maintenance, etc. And our platform offers two applications to work with those data. It's either a web application that is based on the library HS layers ng, so that's the basis of a web application. And there is also QGIS desktop application with our plugin installed. If you don't know about QGIS, I think it's safe to say that it's the most popular open source software for GIS. So once you have such data, your shapefile, your GeoJSON, your raster, you can use one of those applications, web or desktop, to publish those data. And you publish those data in the form of map services. If we are talking about geodata or map services, you probably know that those are standardized by the Open Geospatial Consortium and are called WMS, Web Map Services, or WFS, Web Feature Services, or Time-Aware WMS Service, or tiled WMS. When we are dealing with spatial data, we for sure need to produce metadata as well. So there is also metadata catalog as a part of the solution. So once you take your data, no matter if you use web app or QGIS desktop, and publish the data as a service, those data are metadated in the catalog automatically. And I think now it's time to switch to the first demonstration, I guess. So let me switch to the hub itself, and there is plenty of content that is already filled in here. So you can go through some research outcomes. You can read about the technologies the hub is built upon. You can go to the metadata catalog, etc. But for now, for the first demo, I will focus on the map application. In the initial view, there is plenty of data sets that are predefined in the map, so you can browse through those data. There is a lot of statistical data sets for Africa, but what I want to show you now is how to publish your own data, how to add your data to the map and to publish it to the catalog. And for that, I'm gonna use this tool which is called Add External Data. If I click on the panel, you can see at the top that I have basically three options how to add any data to the map. You can either select from the data catalog, so you are browsing through the data that has already been published either by you or by someone else. And that doesn't necessarily mean that those data are stored on this hub, on this portal. Those data can be also harvested from other servers. So you can either select from the catalog, or you can reference some external service. So you have WMS service or ArcGIS service from other provider, and you want to include it into the map by using its URL. But I want to show you how to publish your own data. So that's the third option here, file, where you can select from multiple formats: KML, GPX, shapefile, raster image, raster time series images. And all of those formats are currently supported to be published on the hub in the catalog. So for now, let me select GeoJSON, and I will take GeoJSON with polygons of African countries, or the borders of African countries. And let's call the data set somehow. So African countries borders. Later, when I publish it, the data set will be visible under this title in the data catalog. I can also fill in some abstract, so some description of the data set. All of those data are, of course, propagated to metadata catalog later. And now I can select whether to save it to the catalog or not. If I don't save it to the catalog, it would be just added to the map for now. Once I refresh the map, it will be lost. So I for sure want to save it to the catalog. And if I'm saving to the catalog, I need to set permissions for the dataset. So I can either set it as a public or private, or select the specific users that would be allowed to see those data. But for now, let's have it like public for read and private. So I will be the only one who will be able to edit this data. If you are presenting your data, it's probably a good idea to give it some styling, some symbology, how it will be rendered in the map. Because if I edit to the map right now without anything else, it will, like default symbology will be used. But that's most often the case that you want to use like your symbology, you want to the borders to look or to appear in some colors, widths, etc. And for those, you can upload the style file. We support two formats of this style file. First of all, it's SLD, or style layer definition, which is some kind of standardized way of description of styling. And there is also support for QML file, which is used by QGIS. So let's select SLD file for now and add it to the map. So what's going on now is that those data are being uploaded to the server. WMS, WFS services are being published based on their data. And once it's finished, the published data are added to the map. You can see it here as a new layer. And if I zoom a bit, you can see that I've even added some labels, probably better if I switch off the base map. So even labels and all other possibilities of symbology are supported here. As I said, you can upload this style file, but that doesn't mean that you cannot change it afterwards. Once you edit the layer to the map, you can of course change the styling as well. So you can see that I can, for example, change the color of the borders. I can change the opacity. I can change the width of the lines, and many other options here for the styling. Okay, so that was the web application, and that was the description or showcase how you publish your dataset. If I switch to QGIS, it's probably not important if you don't know QGIS to know how it works exactly, but the most important thing is that I have some project here that is composed from datasets. So let me use this similar dataset as before on the web, but this time it's a shapefile of African countries. And this dataset also has the information about the estimated population of countries. So let's set the symbology very quickly. Again, it's not important to know how it works here, but I'll just set some symbology for the data based on the population of each country. So let's say this is how it should look. And now I want to publish this dataset. So let's simply select this tool and export the layer. And again, this layer is being published to the data catalog. You can see that it was successfully exported, and now it's available on the hub for anyone who has permissions to see them. So if I switch back to the web and open the catalog again, I should be able to see my new data set here. Okay, so let's switch back to the presentation. So that was the first step. You publish the services and you publish your data in the catalog. Once you published your data sets, you can take those and you can compose a thematic map from them. Or you can combine your data with other map services. For example, you can take satellite images as a base layer, or you can take data from some national provider, like cadastral services of parcels, etc. And as you could already see, Hub for Everybody contains this so-called data catalog, where all your data sets and maps will be available to other users. And it depends on you to whom you will make it accessible, which means that you can, of course, set permissions on the data or on the maps you publish. And at the end, there is one more step you can do, because the most understandable presentation of data is probably not some map service, or even not an interactive map alone, but it can be really useful to present your data or the map in some context. And that's when the web content management comes into play here. Hub for Everybody is map-oriented, but it's still a web portal. So the basic thing you can do with it is to create web pages, web content. But here you can also closely integrate your maps into the web pages or to the e-learning courses. So you can take the map and put it along with some descriptions, legends, charts, videos, anything you wish. You can, for example, make a so-called story map, which displays the map in the context of some story. For example, you can make a nice web page about the development of climatic factors on the Earth and present maps as a complement of text and infographics to describe the issue. So one more time, this schema shows the overview of the whole platform, and it highlights all the main features, all the main features that are available. It's good to say that the platform itself is not a single web portal. It's more of a solution that can be installed on any server under any domain. So there is currently a lot of websites that are based on Hub for Everybody platform. Each of them is tailored to the needs of the customer or the project. But there is always this data management workflow in the background. And then there is one a bit special instance of the hub, which is accessible at hubforeverybody.com. You can see the QR code for this URL here. And this web is intended for private use and is available for free. So if you want to play your data, try to publish, you can do it there. And now I'm finally getting to the hub that is in fact in the title of today's presentation, and that is SmartAfriHub. SmartAfriHub is just another instance of the Hub for Everybody, like many others. But SmartAfriHub focuses on Africa and maybe more precisely on agriculture and environmental issues of Africa. So there is again this space for geodata, all those tools that allow you to manage your geodata. But there is also a learning platform which aims to educate in farming, or maybe better to say in precision farming, which is gaining on popularity and on importance. So we have prepared courses on basics of precision farming. We have prepared a course on basic vegetation indices, on data in agriculture and interoperability. And we are planning to add many more. Okay, to the demonstration again. I'm gonna build on this map I've started to create before, and I want to add more data to the map and create some thematic map. So previously we have published a single data set, but now I want to compose a map for some topic. So I'm gonna use this data set as I have here. I can add, for example, there is this. I think there is this Africa population density data set, so I can try it here and add it to the map from the catalog. So it's there now, but it covers my borders. So let's reorder the layers. So the borders are at the top. And now let's say that I want to change the base map. So again to the edit data panel, and I'm gonna use here ArcGIS map service with word imagery. So I found out this URL of ArcGIS service, and let's connect it to the map. And you can see that I have two options, whether to edit as a common layer or as a base map. I want it to be a base map. Let's give it some name. ArcGIS word imagery. Select all the layers in the service and add it to the map. So you can see now that I have a new base map. I can of course switch back to OpenStreetMap, but let's keep it like this. Zoom a bit in. And let's say that I'm now happy how the map project looks. So I want to save this map as it is and present it as a map composition to other users. So let's go to the map catalog again. This time it's a map catalog of map compositions, not data sets. So if I turn this off, you can see that I have basically two tools for map compositions and for external data for data sets. And both of those have data catalog in it. So I'm now in the catalog of map compositions and I want to save the current map. Again, I have to name it somehow. So let's call it demo Africa population for demonstration. Again, I have to fill some abstract for the metadata. I can fill in keywords. The thumbnail is automatically generated, and I can of course set permissions. That's the very same like it was for the dataset. I can also change the advanced option of the map, so I could change the extent or the initial extent of the map, which will be zoomed to when you open the composition, and you can select the actual layers that will be stored in the map. So let's say that I only want those population density and borders together with base map. save, and the composition was successfully saved. Okay, so again, this was the web application, and now I can switch to QGIS. Let's use this data set we have previously published, and add some more. I guess I can add again some borders there and give it some styling. Of course, I could also add some base map or other layers. I could browse through the catalog and add another data sets from here. But I wanted to show you how to create a map composition, how to publish this map project. So let's use this tool to create a map project. Click on New. Call it again Demo Africa QGIS, for example, and create the map composition. So right now the map has already been created in the data catalog. It can be already searched in the web, in the hub. But I want to add layers, add data to the map. So let's select all data I have in the map project and save changes. Okay, so that's it, and now the map is created. And it will take over all the symbology, all the settings that you can see in the QGIS. Of course, you can again set permissions, because anything you publish from QGIS is by default private. So I would like to make it visible to everyone. And now I'm asked whether I want to propagate those permissions also to the layers that are contained in the map. So I want to do this. And once it's saved, I'm going to switch back to the web, because I want to show you that this is not the only way how you can browse through the catalog. There is also this dedicated page for catalog, where you can actually browse through all the data that are published on the hub. You can, of course, search if you have probably filled in the metadata, but I guess I did not. You can switch to maps, and again browse through the existing maps that have been published here. Okay, if you remember from the schema at the beginning, I said that after publishing your data and creating a map, there is one more step you can do, and that is to add a web presentation, web page with your map, and add it with some context. So because I have the option here to add a new page to the hub. You can see that I can select from multiple options or types of the web pages I can create. I will now use this web page, which is just a common web page. You can see that I also have a course page, which is something related to e-learning, and I'll show you more a bit later. Let's now create a web page. Call it demo page, and now I can start to compose the content of the page. So there is this plus icon which always offers me the widgets that are available for the layout. So let's start with some basic layout for responsiveness. So it will looks nice on desktop or on mobile phone on any device. And let's add some content. I'll use some pre-generated text here to just have some content there. But most importantly, if I add another responsive column to the content, you can see that one of the widgets here is HSLR's map. And if I add this widget, it will simply add my map application to the web, so into the page. And you see that in the basic settings, I have only few options, and the most important one is selection of map composition. So I should be able to actually find my map I have created before and simply select it like this. And if I open a preview, it should now show you how the web page will look like. It takes a while to refresh. So you can see that I have this text I have added, and most importantly, I have a map with composition I have created before. So this way you can create very quickly nice web presentations of your data. Okay, let's close this now. Let's talk now about learning or education, because today there is a lot of data you can use. There is a lot of open data you can use, or anyone can use, but it's often very difficult to find the information that you want to get from the data because you don't know the context or because you don't simply understand the raw data. Because if you want the people to understand your data, you have to put those data in context, as I said before. You have to describe the data, and if you do it properly and with proper tools, people will finally be able to understand the data and get the message you are trying to send them. Because of course you can share data table or shapefile or GeoJSON, but if the end user doesn't know what you want to tell them with the data, you'll not be able to get it. So once you put your data into context and people will start to understand the data, they will start learning what the data means. And if we are talking about learning, the worst case scenario, if you want someone to learn anything, is to give them a long text of theories. If you want to learn something, you need some aids, visual aids, like graphics, like charts. But if you really want the people to understand, not just learn something, but understand, you should give interactive features. And if we are talking about interactive features and geodata, of course, this interaction is about maps. So I will switch one more time to demonstration, and I will show you how the new e-learning platform actually works. So as I've shown you before, the content of the hub, there is one more that's called education section, and you can see that I have few predefined or prepared courses in there. So let's open it here. As I said, it's focused on agriculture, so there is course about data in agriculture, about interoperability. There is basic introduction to knowledge-based agriculture, and there is this course about vegetation indices. So let's open this course. And for every course, you have some introduction, or let's say it's abstract of the course with the description of the content. What are you going to learn from there? And you have some basic information about the course, like the text or duration, and you can see the content or table of content of the course. Let's start the course right now. And now you can simply browse through the lessons and chapters. If you are done with the chapter, you can move to the next, and this way go through the course. And now you can see that I'm now in a lesson about NDVI index. So there is some description, there is a legend of common values of NDVI index. There is a formula how to compute it, and there is also a map. So as a visual aid, interactive tool, you have an interactive map here, where you can browse through the data. You can see that I have ortho imagery here on the right. I have NDVI image on the left. I can compare those two, and I can more closely investigate what NDVI is and how it works. Again, when I'm done, I can move to the next lesson or to the next chapter. When you finish the course, there is a chance to or option to go through a final quiz. So if I select it in the table of contents, you can see that I have some overview of the quiz, where you can see how many correct answers you have to pass the quiz, how many attempts you have left, because this can be restricted. You can also receive a certificate after passing successfully the course and the quiz. You can see that I have so far attempted once without success. So let's try again. And now I'm presented with the questions. Yeah. There can be like 100 questions predefined by the editor of the quiz of the course, but the system will automatically select only a few of them. And again, the editor says how many of them should be selected for the test. What is the purpose of NDTI? Let's say I don't know. So let's select one of those options and move to the next question. I will just quickly go through it. Normalized difference vegetation index is probably the correct answer. You can see that there could be multiple correct answers. What are vegetation indexes? Let's say this one. And when I finish, I'm presented with the result of the test, and you see that I was successful. Okay, so that was a quick overview of the courses and quizzes. But what I wanted to show you was how to add a new lesson to this course. And as you are going to see, it's very similar to creating a web page. So again, I will add a new child page, and because I have been in the course before, I'm adding a child page for course, I only can add lesson or quiz page here. So let's try to add lesson page. Call it demo lesson. I could select some cover image for it that will be displayed in the tiles in the front end. And now again, I can compose the content of the lesson, and it's really the same as before when you were creating a common web page. So you can again insert images, you can insert maps. And let's show the preview. And you can see that I have a new lesson with the content I've just created. Maybe one more thing I want to mention is that you can, of course, edit some advanced settings for the maps. So, for example, for lessons, it can be often the case that you want to present just the map without any tools, because you could have noticed that if you add a map widget to the page, it really comes along with all the tools. So here I could really create map compositions, or I could add data. This is full featured map. So I probably don't want to show this panel to the users. So let's do it in advanced settings. You can see that I can change the map projection. I can set the styling of the map widget. I can even add more layers here, and I can check which tools will be available in the map. So if I turn off the sidebar, you can see that I have the map, but without the tools. One more thing in the demonstration. So this was how I could add a new lesson. And let's say that I want to add a new quiz. Turn off the preview. I will again call it somehow. And now you can specify the parameters of the test or of the quiz. So as I said, you can have 100 questions predefined for the quiz, but here you say how many of those questions should be included in a single test. How many correct answers are required to successfully pass? How many attempts do you have to try again? How long do you have to wait when you don't pass and you want to try again? So all those parameters can be set by the editor. And of course, the most important, you can add questions. So what question do I have? So that would be the text of the question, and then simply add answers. Answer 1, another answer 2, and this one would be correct. So this way you could easily create the whole quiz, the whole test. Okay, so that's the current state of the solution of Hub for Everybody, but we are still thinking on how to make it better. The next steps would be to develop support for data dashboards. So we are considering integration with systems like Grafana dashboards, or maybe our own solutions for dashboards. Right now, we are working on integration with SenseLog service, which is a service we are also developing, and it's meant for collecting sensor data. On some of the hubs, we have also integrated Jupyter notebooks for real-time coding inside the portal. And you probably know or have heard of most of those systems, but Map Whiteboard. That is another product of ours that we are preparing for public introduction. And it's a tool for collaborative map creation and editing in real time. You can imagine it, or we call it internally Google Docs for maps, because it allows you to create a map, share it through the link with other people in a very similar manner as Google Drive does with documents. So you share it with the link with other people, and then you or someone else can modify the map or create new data, add new layers, while other users can see your actions immediately, and that's including your cursor track. So the other users that are logged into the map can really see how you are moving your mouse and how you are editing the data. And of course, they are seeing in real time the same map content as you are. So we are currently working on this and on integration of this tool into some of the popular online conferencing tools like Google Meet, and we are testing some use case scenarios for this system. Okay, I guess that's all from my side for today. And I'm open to any questions you might have.
Yes, thank you, František, for your interesting presentation about how SmartAfriHub works. I specifically like the feature that you can take a quiz after the e-learning session. I think that's very useful. So, as František stated, now it's time for your questions. And as I was checking our chat, there is a question from Bente. Can you set the licenses for your maps, CC by, for instance, or is it just private and public without licenses?
We are currently not supporting licenses, but it's also not just private and public, but it can be set for specific people, or just now we are working on another option that would allow you to specify permissions per group. So you could create a group of people and share your data with specific group. But to think about licenses, that's a very good point, yeah.
But Franta, maybe that you can not do this through the Lyman and direct it to the application, but if you go to metadata editor, which is part of the solution, you can also switch the license.
Yes, in metadata you can.
Okay, thank you. Are there any other questions from our audience? You can speak up now. Okay, maybe I have one more. Is it possible to implement this solution into different environments?
Well, if you think like to different organizations or servers or systems, yes, because as I said, it's not a single portal, but it's like a solution that can be deployed anywhere you wish. So we have so far deployed mostly on our servers, but we have also deployed on the servers of our customers. So it's really a simple package that can be deployed anywhere you want, and the installation takes like half a day, maybe.
You can say we are able to support customer by our cloud own, but of course it could be deployed anywhere.
Yeah, we are able to quickly make a dedicated server for anyone and deploy it there, but we can also deploy on customers' infrastructure.
Okay, thank you. So it looks like we have reached the end of today's presentation. Thank you again, František. Thank you, Karel. And also thank you, our audience, for coming. I hope you have enjoyed this journey through SmartAfriHub 3.0. So see you next time.
Marketa, there is few requirements for sharing the presentation. I think that also video will be shared, yes?
Yes, definitely. You can check our social networks. We will also put the recordings on our YouTube channel, so everything will be shared.
Okay, thank you and bye.
Okay.
Thank
Thank you very much and see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye-bye. See you later.